Hola everybody, my name is Ivonne Armenta. I'm a public speaking creative, and on this channel I talk about public speaking because I love it and I want to help you love it too. So welcome back, or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a really exciting one because I finally launched the official Chats with Yvonne website. It's chatswithyvonne.com, and today I'm going to walk you through all of the different features, some of my favorite features, the services that I offer, as well as just some fun stuff and how you can access everything from my podcast to my YouTube channel. If you're already here, that means you're probably already here, so you don't need access to it. You know where it's at. But if you ever did need to, the Chats with Yvonne website is going to be a one-stop shop for all of your needs. If you like this video, give this a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like this type of content. Remember to speak your mind in the comments. Let me know what you think about my website. I'm really excited. Let me know what your favorite feature is. And of course, if you would like to, I would appreciate it if you considered subscribing, support my channel. Let me know that you want to learn all things public speaking. Before we get started though, I did set myself up with a little cafecito, so let's make that together. By the way, fun fact, every time that I record a YouTube video, I have a cafecito right next to me. Today we're going with La Colombe coffee. I got a big pack of these at Costco, so let's try them. The first thing that I'll say is that it is very thick. This one is their triple latte, bold and creamy. So if you like something a little bit thinner, this is not it. Mix it around a bit. I really love the flavor of this one. It's not too much coffee, and it's also not too sweet. That is my favorite, absolute favorite combination. I will say it is a little too thick for me, but it's good. The ice will maybe water it down a bit. All right, now that I have had my cafecito, let's go ahead and get started with this video. I'm going to be doing a screen share, and let's get into the website. Now, before we go too deep into the website, I do want to give you an intro of who worked on it. So Girasol Studio, Gabriela did an incredible job, Latina owned. She's amazing. We met at an event and I reached out to her and I said, hey, I think it's time for a website. Let's do this. And she completely transformed what I even thought I wanted for Chats with Yvonne. You'll see, but the colors are, I wouldn't say different for me because they are colors that embody who I am. I just didn't even know that in many ways. One of the things that I mentioned to her that was really important to me was that I wanted there to be a sense of empowerment and professionalism to it, but I also wanted to pay homage and honor that part of me that is also very human. I want people, when they come to my website, to feel like, yes, they will get what they need to get done. They will acquire the skills to be incredible public speakers in their own lane, in their lives, but that I am also a safe space, that this is a space free of judgment, that it's a space where you can come as you are, practice your public speaking skills, and not feel ashamed or not feel judged about it. That is what I wanted my brand to embody. And you'll see a couple things here and there that are really the embodiment of these things. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to get right into it. I know a lot more will come up as we're talking through it, but first of all, I want to thank each one of you because it is through your support and your wanting to engage in the art of public speaking that this is possible, that I'm able to live out this part of my dream life. So thank you. Let's get right into the website. I said that already, but for reals now, let's get into the website. Right, so this is our home screen. What you'll want to do is go to chatswithyvonne.com, and that will be linked down in the description. This is my logo. My primary color is this orangey kind of salmon color, and I really liked it. My favorite colors are pink, brown, and yellow. And I wear a lot of pink. Yellow has been one of my favorite colors, but the yellow that I had was a little bit diluted, and blue was something different. So I didn't necessarily When this was proposed to me at first, I was like, it feels very different. But then when I saw it all come together, that's when I think I was convinced about it. I was like, yes, this feels right. So there's a lesson in letting the professionals do what they do best and going with it and letting them take complete creative charge, because the result is probably better than what you thought you wanted. So I think this was the case with this. So we start off, this is my homepage, and I have my signature. Hola everybody, I'm Ivonne Armenta, public speaking creative and speaker. So there I am. Right off the bat, we go into ways that you can collaborate with me. I do workshops and speaking engagements. That's primarily what I do. And this will be workshops for college students, it's nonprofit organizations, teams have hired me to prepare for their annual conferences. So the topics that I talk about within public speaking vary. So sometimes there'll be public speaking one-on-one, public speaking for introverts, public speaking at a high school level, at a college level, how to make imposter syndrome shut up through public speaking. These are all things that I talk about during these workshops, and that's one of the ways that you can work with me. The other way are one-on-one feedback sessions. I call them feedback sessions, one, because sometimes I think we are a little bit uncomfortable by feedback, but my hope is that I create a safe enough space for you to feel comfortable in receiving feedback. What we'll do during the session is very much up to you. So if you have an upcoming workshop and you want some feedback on the flow of it, the engagement pieces that you have throughout, I can help you with that. If you have a speech coming up and you want to work on it together and practice it, I can help you with that. If you haven't even started the speech, but you have a public speaking engagement coming up and you want to work together to craft that, I can help you with that. So feedback sessions are typically 1 hour. Then we have my public speaking coaching program, which is one-on-one. It's 120 days worth of content. So I will give you 10 learning lessons. I call them sort of modules. I call them learning lessons. That sounds better to me. I like it more than modules. But they are discussion and some are lecture based. 8 of them will be in person. We meet together. And then 2 of them are pre-recorded. Throughout that, we also meet one-on-one for what I call practice and implementation sessions. So this is where we take the lessons of those learning lessons and practice and implement them. And then you can also ask me questions about it and we can workshop through a lot of things. You also have access to me throughout the entirety of those 120 days, and it's my commitment to you and anybody that works with me that we will get you a public speaking engagement booked in the schedule by the time that we are done working together. And this spaces are very limited for this because I do have a 9 to 5, so I have to fit all of this outside of those hours, meaning there is a limit to how much time I can actually invest in being one-on-one. One-on-one relationships are really important to me, and if I'm going to do this public speaking coaching with you one-on-one over the duration of 120 days, you are investing not only your hard-earned money, but also time. And I want to make sure that it's worth your time. And to do that, I have to be really concentrated on helping you and your needs. I tailor a lot of our programming to what you need specifically. And that's really, really important to me. So in those 120 days, I'm likely only working with 1 to 2 people. Again, time, and also you have a life, I have a life, we got to live it up, take care of ourselves, all those good things. Then we move on, and here I give you a little bit more about who I am. We'll click on this learn more in a bit, but that takes you over to my about page. If you didn't know, I have a segment called Tiny Mic Chats, and I'm so happy that I have a little icon now, but Tiny Mic Chats are where I take submissions from you, words, phrases, themes. I ask you to challenge me and think about the very first thing that comes to mind. Some people have submitted tacos, some people have submitted coffee, and I always find a way to connect it back to public speaking. It's a fun segment that I have on my platform that I really enjoy doing because, one, it helps me exercise my brain in, okay, how else can I relate this to public speaking, right? Something that's really important to me in the work that I do is meeting you where you are. And to meet you where you are, I have to understand your interests, what you do in your daily life, your lived experiences, things that call you, right? Because then I can connect those things back to public speaking, and you can find a deeper connection to the art than simply, I need to get better at speaking. And it's also fun. I do this on the daily. The reason I started this segment in particular was because everything all around me, I would be like, ooh, a can. Well, you know what? Opening the can reminds me of this part of my speech curation, right? Or, I don't know, trying something new. Like I started running, right? I connect a lot of things in my daily life to the art of public speaking because it gives me a different lens for approaching the art and in a more unique and culturally centered way. So check out my tiny mics. I'm going to have some new segments coming out shortly. They will be out every Wednesday at noon over on Instagram and TikTok. These are some of the places where I have been featured. We have a link to the Chats with Yvonne podcast right here on the homepage as well. And another fun segment that I have called Cool, Calm, and Comfortable. This is essentially my brand and how I present myself. Cool, calm, and comfortable. And I started this segment one day, I wanted to do get readies with me, but I wanted to make them unique to who I am. And I figured, you know what? I get ready for public speaking engagements all the time. I put outfits together all of the time. So let me do an outfit inspiration for your next public speaking engagement. And typically it'll be, hey, here's something you can wear if you're going to a networking event, a workshop, if you are on stage, a keynote presentation, things like that. So we'll come up with different scenarios. And at one point I was using my colored pens as inspiration for the outfit. So that's what that is. I always say al estilo Yvonne, cool, calm, and comfortable, because that really is the essence of how I present myself on stage. I always like to say that I like to keep it cool, keep it comfortable. I am a sweaty kind of person, so a lot of the outfits that I wear need to be sweat proof. And by sweat proof, I mean I'm sweating. You just can't really see them. They also need to be comfortable. I had foot surgery, so I can't wear super high heels. I have to make sure that my shoes are really comfortable and wide enough for me to walk around the stage comfortably. I don't like tight clothes, so I don't wear tight clothes on stage. That's the essence of cool, calm, and comfortable. But you can also check those out on TikTok and Instagram. I mostly post them on TikTok just because I feel like it makes more sense there, but every once in a while I'll post them on my Instagram and I get good feedback on it, so I may start doing that. We're going to go all the way up to the top to the About section, and I'm going to read this part out loud for you. I'm Yvonne Armenta, public speaking creative and founder of Chats with Yvonne, a space where I help Latinas and introverts reconnect with and love the art of public speaking. And I'll stop there really quickly. This is not to say that I don't help anyone outside of Latinas and introverts, right? But in my expertise and in who I am as a person, these have been two identifiers that have really helped me in my public speaking journey and reclaiming and reconnecting with the art. Because it's not that we aren't good public speakers. It's that something has happened somewhere in between where the world has made us feel like maybe we shouldn't show up on stage in this certain way. So I like to change that narrative. I started my public speaking journey by doing. I was given an opportunity to share my story at an education-based conference with an audience of 1,500. And as scared as I was, I accepted. I said to myself, pues a ver cómo me va. Let's see how this goes, without knowing that this was the beginning of my career as a public speaker. And then I go on to talk a little bit about the process of what I did to when I was asked to be a keynote presenter and how my framework around public speaking and mastering the art of public speaking came to be. So I don't want to read it out loud for you all, but y'all can go on the website and learn a little bit more about that. Essentially, I help you all reconnect with the art of public speaking. That's what I do, and I help you love it through that reconnection. And we do it through my framework, which I have talked about before, which is reflect, connect, and share. Now, why a public speaking creative? You'll notice I don't call myself a public speaking coach. I don't necessarily like that term. I like to think of myself as more of a creative because I'm constantly thinking of new ways to engage people with the art of public speaking and make it something where you can see yourself reflected in that, and it makes you want to take the opportunity to speak. So I say that my superpower is being able to connect our lived experiences back to why and how we experience the art of public speaking. Beyond the skill set required to be a great speaker, I challenge you to also reflect on your experiences to create a map for your public speaking journey that feels right. There is no one way of public speaking, and while we acknowledge acknowledge best practices in the field, we approach them knowing that they may not always consider our cultural practices and forms of communication. We're also multifaceted. So we get creative. I call this public speaking con cultura. If you want to learn more about that, or you're at all curious as to what I mean, please feel free to reach out. Then there's this button here that takes you over to my public speaking CV, where you can see some of the work that I've done, a little bit more around my framework and my experience in the art of public speaking. Again, we have a couple of the features that I've been in, some of the conferences that I've spoken at, the talk show, Good Talks with Healthline, one of my favorite, a couple of the podcasts that I've been a part of, and they are linked here, and my Instagram feed down at the bottom right here. Then if you go over to the services tab, you can see some of the services that I offer in more detail. So the very first one will be, if you have an event coming up, you can book me as a speaker. I'm always happy to talk about the art of public speaking or topics that make sense for your organization and your event. And you can do so here. We set up, all of these have links to being able to set up some time with me to talk through the event. And actually, I think this one, if you go to book me for your next event, it'll take you to a form down at the bottom that you can fill out, give me some other details, and we'll see if I'm available, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Then there are my workshops and public speaking engagements, which I already talked through. So here, this button will take you over to a calendar invitation that you can generate to talk a little bit more about your services or to talk a little bit more about your event and what you're looking for. You can also fill out the form down at the bottom. The feedback sessions, which I talked about, is an investment of $200, and you can book it through my website. It'll take you to a calendar invitation, and I'll do everything else after that. And then, of course, my public speaking coaching program. The investment for the 120 days is $5,000, and I do have payment options for those of you all that would like to budget out how you make your investment. This is one of my favorite offerings only because I get to see people's transformations. And of course, if you are a brand, I love to get creative with how I present your service, how I use your product, and best believe, trust me, I have that tiny mics chat segment. I can connect anything and everything back to the art of public speaking, so I love to get creative with it. Brands, you can reach out to me if you'd like. And if you're a coffee brand, please reach out to me. I'm just kidding. Kidding, not kidding. This button here will lead you to my email. My email is chatswithyvonne@gmail.com should you ever need it. And that's the form. Then you go over to more, and the first one will take you to the Chats with Yvonne podcast, which is where we talk about all things public speaking. So I'll do how to network. I'll do why do we use filler words as one of the episodes. A lot of guest interviews as well, where we dive into their experiences and the art of public speaking and how they use it in their day-to-day. You can also find the Ponte Perra Affirmations podcast, which, by the way, got a new logo as well, which I'm really excited about. This is an affirmations podcast in English and Spanish, and I write these affirmations weekly and produce podcasts bi-weekly to meet us wherever you are, right? To meet us where we are. Often, actually most of the time, these affirmations are things that I needed to hear during that week or that I needed for myself, and I journal them and share them with all of you, and I translate them into Spanish. Something that I think makes my podcast unique is that I add a reflection piece at the very end of reciting the affirmations, because it's a way to help us internalize the feelings that we want to be aligned with. And reflection is a huge part of my framework for public speaking, so they go hand in hand. And then, of course, you have links over to my TikTok. You have links over to my Instagram. If it'll load, there we go, over to my Instagram. And of course, our YouTube channel. So that is the website. And then you go back to home, and here we are. And that is our website. Díganme, what do you all think? I am so excited about it. I'm so happy with what Gabriela was able to make come to life. I love it. I have sent it to a couple of people, a couple of my friends, and they're like, wow, like it's so you. It feels very warm and inviting and at the same time professional, which is what I was going for. And I use the term professional very loosely. Like, I just think that, and I have a podcast episode that's going out about this, which I will talk about in my next YouTube video. But professionalism is one of those things that I think I am learning and unlearning and relearning every single day, because growing up, you have this idea of what professionalism should be like, what it should look like, what it should feel like. And I want my passion, I want my work to feel different. I don't want you to feel like public speaking is still that thing that feels so far away that you cannot possibly do. I want it to feel very attainable, and I want it to feel very you, authentic to you. And that's what I hope that you all get from my website, from what I put out there, from my content. I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and I'm so excited. Please feel free to drop in the comments what you think about my website, what your favorite part about it is. And if you don't already, follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all the places. Check out the podcast, Chats with Yvonne podcast, Public Speaking con Cultura, and check out the Ponte Perra Affirmations podcast. It would mean the world to me. Gracias. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of content, and lets me know that you liked my website. 1 like equals I like your website. Speak your mind in the comments. Let me know what you think. And of course, consider subscribing if you want to support my channel and all the things that we have going on. If you saw a service on here that you're interested in, or there's an organization that you're a part of, a nonprofit, a college org, your company, and you're looking and you think your team may benefit from a public speaking workshop or a public speaking engagement, coaching, any of that kind of stuff, please feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to make something happen. It is my life journey to bring public speaking cultura to everybody. And how I do that is through all of you. So thank you so much for being here and letting me do that work. This makes me real happy. This is my passion. I love what I do. So thank you. With all of that being said, thank you so much for being here and spending a little time with me. I really appreciate the time that you took to get a little bit closer towards loving the art of public speaking. Nos vemos a la próxima.